Hey guys, welcome to our channel. During this video, we will be going over some of our orchids which are currently in bloom. If you are interested in seeing more orchid and flower videos in the future, please subscribe and leave a comment below. This orchid is Zygopetalum, advanced Australia. It is a hybrid between several different species belonging to the genus Zygopetalum. All of these come from Brazil. They are epiphytes and semi-epiphytes, so we have it potted in a bark mixture. This orchid likes cool to intermediate temperatures and indirect light. It's not an orchid that likes to dry out. It should be kept at least a bit damp, and it's free flowering, and as you can see, the flowers are quite interesting, often including purples, browns, and greens, and they are also very fragrant. Next to it we have Leglio, cathante, newberry, lava burst, lincook. This is a hybrid between Leglio undulata and a Cattleya hybrid, all of which hail from Central and South America. There they grow as epiphytes and lithophytes. This is a fast grower and a prolific bloomer. It requires well-draining media and bright conditions with no direct light. This is Paphiopetalum Mount Torah, which is a hybrid between Paphiopetalum stonii and Paphiopetalum philippinense. The first comes from Borneo, the second from insular Southeast Asia, where they grow as calcareous semi-epiphytes. You need to pot these with fine bark with some limestone or oyster shell mixed in, and keep them moist in indirect light. This little orchid is Cattleya changi cranberry. This is a rather recent cross between Cattleya changi ruby and Cattleya changi star. It requires standard Cattleya care, which means bright indirect light, watered when dry, and good air circulation. This is Miltoniopsis Pacific paragon honey butter. This is a hybrid between two primary hybrids from the genus Oncidium and the genus Miltoniopsis. First comes from Central America, the second from South America. All of its parents grow as epiphytes, so it should be watered when dry and grown in a chunky bark mix. This orchid is Dendrobium lotus. This is a Southeast Asian epiphyte and lithophyte. It likes to be kept damp. As you can see, it's crawled out of the pot that we bought it in and sort of into the air and formed several keikis. Due to this sort of behavior, this orchid responds well to being mounted. I actually plan to do a later video on that, so stay tuned. And it thrives in low to intermediate light. This orchid is a Dendrobium hybrid known as springberg. It's a hybrid of 3 different species of Dendrobium, all of which hail from Southeast Asia and the Himalayas. It's what's called a nobile type hybrid. This means that it's fragrant, that the bark should be kept moist when it's not flowering, and that it likes being root bound and should get good light exposure. Unfortunately, in my experience, these type of dendrobiums are also exceptionally susceptible to scale insect and mealybugs, so keep an eye out for those two pests. This orchid is a complex Cattleya hybrid between Cattleya Circle of Life Strawberry Moon and Leglio Cattleya John Pisander Goldilocks. This requires standard Cattleya care, which means bright indirect light, watering when dry, and good air circulation. This orchid is Brassia edvolu nishida. It's a hybrid of two other neotropical Brassia species. Brassias are called spider orchids. You could probably guess why looking at these strange, fragrant flowers. But what's even more interesting is that these orchids are pollinated by predatory wasps which hunt spiders. They mistake the flowers for their prey, sting one flower, and move on to the next. So very interesting pollination mechanism there. They should be watered when dry and grown in bright light.